An elderly man asks a young woman and a young man for help as they are passing by. The young woman says to the young man, "Let's go help him," but the young man refuses because of his pride and arrogance and walks away. The young woman goes to the elderly man and asks what happened. The elderly man tells her that his car has broken down and says he is in a hurry, asking her to help him. He takes the car key out of his pocket and hands it to the young woman. Just then, a taxi arrives behind them. The young woman is about to say something to the taxi driver, but before she can, the elderly man gets into the taxi and leaves. Before leaving, he tells the young woman to contact him later. In reality, the young woman is on her way to a job interview at a company. She has no idea that the elderly man is the owner of that company. She becomes worried, takes out her phone, and calls a mechanic. Meanwhile, the young man arrives at the company and tells the receptionist that he has come for an interview. The receptionist asks him to wait, but the young man becomes angry and leaves. At that moment, the elderly man arrives. The young man is shocked to see him and remembers that he is the same elderly man who had asked for help earlier. On the other side, the mechanic arrives where the young woman is waiting and asks her what the problem is with the car. The young woman explains everything. The mechanic checks the car, and the young woman asks how long it will take to repair it. The mechanic tells her that it will take quite some time. The young woman gives him the car key and says she will collect the car from the workshop later, then leave. When she finally reaches the company, the receptionist tells her that she is very late. At that moment, the same young man is there. He tells the young woman that if he had stayed to help the elderly man that day, he would not have gotten the job either, and he starts feeling pleased with himself. The young woman accepts it as her fate and quietly leaves. She returns to the workshop, where the mechanic notices that she looks worried and asks her what happened. The young woman tells him that she was late for her interview, and now she has no job or work. Hearing this, the mechanic tells her that she can work at his workshop. A little later, the young woman changes into the mechanic's work clothes and walks outside. Suddenly, she bumps into the same young man. Seeing her in that condition, the young man mocks her. Meanwhile, the elderly man arrives and secretly watches everything. The young man tells the young woman that she has ruined his clothes. Just then, the mechanic comes over and asks the young man why he is angry with her. The young man explains everything and demands compensation for his clothes. The mechanic gives him the money. Seeing the money, the young man becomes happy and leaves. The mechanic then takes the young woman with him and leaves as well. The elderly man later visits the mechanic and thanks the young woman for helping him. He pays the mechanic more than the amount for his hard work and invites both of them to attend an event at his company. The young woman and the mechanic happily accept the invitation. The next day, the young woman and the mechanic attend the company's event. The young man also arrives there. Seeing the young woman, he proudly asks the manager what she is doing there. The manager tells him that the owner personally invited her. The young man walks away. After a while, the elderly man comes onto the stage and announces that he is going to appoint a new manager for his company. The young man confidently believes that he will be chosen as the new manager. Suddenly, the elderly man calls the young woman's name. Hearing this, the young man becomes angry and asks why her name has been called. He questions the owner about why she has been selected as the new manager. The owner replies that he appoints people who are willing to help others. The young man leaves in anger. The elderly man then calls the young woman forward and asks her to sign the documents to become the company's new manager. The young woman comes forward and signs them. In this way, one small act of kindness changes the young woman's life forever. Kindness, honesty, and hard work can create new opportunities in a person's life, so we should always help others.